And quite honestly, it doesn't even surprise me anymore, but like clockwork, my students come to me one by one saying that this little skill that they've cultivated, not even knowing the importance, has been the ultimate determining factor between where they were and where they wanted to be. All of a sudden, they can turn their laptop or their mobile phone into an ATM of income, of leads, of opportunity. So it's something I wanted to share with you guys. So grab a pen and paper. We're about to jump in. What's going on, guys? Adam Ivy, sellmusic.com, here to help you go further, faster in your music career by sharing proven marketing techniques and strategies that are going to help you transform that passion for making music into a legitimate business that's going to provide you with freedom and fulfillment. Two of the most important things in life in general, if you ask me. Now, I know that was a mouthful, but this one is going to be a page full of notes, I hope, because this one is going to be all about copywriting. Now, copywriting as an artist or a producer, or honestly anyone trying to build a brand around themselves, is one of the most important skills that someone could develop. In a world of flashy videos, highly edited photos, and more music than anyone could account for, all too often we overlook the importance and the power of our words. Now, copywriting is to brand development the same way that herbs and spices are to cooking. Without it, it just doesn't stand out as very special or interesting. This is something I see so many creators lacking in their day-to-day strategy, and I want to make this video to hopefully help fix that. Now, first and foremost, I'm talking about copywriting, right? The words that we use for social captions, emails, or more generally speaking, what we say to the world when we're trying to market ourselves. I'm not talking about copyright in the sense of legally registering your music to protect yourself from having it stolen. That'll be a different video for another day, right? I've been writing copy for a long time, and I've created an easy to implement formula that I want to share with you guys on promotional copywriting, or what I call engagement copywriting. So feel free to take notes. Now, one thing I want you to understand when you're writing is that copywriting is very different than content writing. They're two different things. So content writing is what you do when you're explaining something, when you're describing experiences, or even doing a written review on a product or a service. It's typically not directional. Now, what I mean by directional is the intent in which your words are meant to do, right? Engagement copywriting is all about using your words to direct that person reading to ultimately feeling driven enough to engage or take action, whatever you're suggesting for them to do. So let's break down the formula, and then I'm going to give you some examples. Side note, this is as simplified as I could possibly make it. I didn't want to overwhelm you guys. But once you harness this and you really want to dominate, you'll be ready for the advanced copywriting, which will come naturally. Okay, so start with your engagement goal and work backwards. Your goal could be getting comments on Instagram posts, or having your audience watch your new YouTube video, or go listen to your music on Spotify. Whatever your goal is, we need to isolate that to get some clarity. Now, from there, we want to address the theme focus of our copy and what that needs to be. Regardless of if you're trying to write an email for your list or post a photo to Instagram and then you're writing a caption for that, you should have a theme focus. Now, what a theme focus would be is the context around what you're writing about. Some themes could be inspiration, motivation, education, entertainment. This will keep your copy on the rails and keep you from going off track when you're rereading your stuff. Now, the most important aspect of any quality copy is the story. Now, I'm not saying that everything you post needs to be some epic multi-paragraph post that has some rich character development, but the better you are at keeping people's attention, the more effective your copy is going to be. Now, the last step is closing with a natural nudge, right? I say natural because the flow of your words are everything. People know when you're trying to sell them, and even though this video isn't really about sales copy, which is a different thing, I'm referring to the hard ask. Nobody wants to feel like you're blatantly telling them what to do unsolicited. It's abrasive. Instead, what we want to do is we want to ease into that nudge and let them feel good about whatever decision they end up making. It's super important, especially within the inbound marketing framework. Now, as far as your ask or nudge, as I referred to it, you could easily ask them a question to trigger comment responses, a mention where they could go listen to your song that you're talking about in your post, or give them clear instructions on where they can go check out your newest video. All right, guys, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump onto Instagram from my laptop and just pull up a couple images from my account and some friends' accounts just to show you live what bad copywriting would look like versus good engagement copywriting. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so as you can see, I have a photo from my Instagram account pulled up of me sitting on the hood of a 2015 Lamborghini Huracan that I had the pleasure of ripping around in for a couple days last year with my good buddy Zach when I was in Vegas visiting him. Now, this photo could go one of two very different ways as far as the context. If someone didn't know me, they might look at this photo and say, oh, you know, douchebag, daddy's money, oh, it's rented, like whatever. If they don't have any context, and that's what the caption is all about. That's what good copywriting is, why it's needed. So I'm going to have the caption that I actually used on Instagram blurred out or blanked out for this example because I want a blank slate. Feel free to go over to Instagram and check it out. It was posted back in February. But the example I want to give on this is so many times I see posts just like this with hashtag stuntin', hashtag blessed, feels surreal to make this much money, stunting on my haters, laughing at my haters. Like, you could put a whole different spin on the actuality behind this photo just from being lazy with your caption. Or, check out my new single, something that doesn't actually make sense with this. Now, that's not engaging. Somebody's going to click. They might not like it if you look like a douchebag or whatever, just using this as an example. But if you wrote a good piece of engaging copy, it might sound something like this off the top of my head. So, looking at this photo, I remember the mindset that I was in, and I know, kind of where I've been to get to this point. So as far as my copywriting would go, I would say something along the lines of, I remember it like it was yesterday. My first car was a 1990 Geo Tracker that my grandma bought me that had transmission issues, so I never actually got to drive it. Looking at that and remembering sitting in the garage and just pretending like I was cruising with the top down made me so happy, but I never in a million years would imagine even having the opportunity to sit in, let alone drive, a Lamborghini, especially red being my favorite color. I remember like it was yesterday when people would tell me that I would never make anything of myself, that a factory job was good enough, that college wasn't for me. But I never let that deter me from having a vision of having a Lamborghini in my garage one day, having a dream car, being able to travel, being able to experience these things that people in my family typically just didn't think was a possibility. This picture of me sitting on the car laughing is not because I think it's funny, because it was so surreal to just look at where I've been up to this point. And the one thing that my friend said is, at least your shoes match the car. So that made me laugh. Now, red being my favorite color, Lamborghini being one of my favorite exotic brands, this photo really represents what success in my mind looked like 10 years ago and now is actualized in a way in this photo. What does success look like to you? What's your favorite color? What would be one thing that if you had the experience with would really change your mind or help you get to that vision? What does your vision look like? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. And if it's something that's a little too personal for you, I'd love to hear from you in a DM. So let's connect. You see the difference between the first example of hashtag stunting, hashtag Lambo life, sliding on my haters, that type of thing, or maybe some fire emojis or some car emojis versus an engaging piece of copy. You bring people in, you engage them, you have educational or an informational, not informational, a motivational, right? I'm trying to bring a little bit of inspiration and perspective, saying that I didn't come from much. My family was pretty poor growing up. I never thought I'd get to sit on a Lamborghini in my entire life. Now I have a i8 sitting in my garage. Like, the fact of the matter is, to go from that to this with your audience and bringing them with you. And I'm not saying that all your posts have to be some motivation, inspirational stuff. And that's why I have a couple other photos pulled up here. But that's the difference between the first being unengaging and second being an engaging. Would you have commented on my post if you read something like that? Let me know in the comments below this video. Let's go to the next photo, which is my good friend Danny, aka Chico. Give him some love. I'm going to have his description, all his contact information in the description box, including Ricky, my other guy. Definitely go follow them, show them some love, and tell them that I sent you. So this photo, I took this photo. I was going to buy what do they call it, a pea coat at, I think, Macy's or something in the mall, Dillard's, and we found this jacket. And I told Danny, I said, you have to wear this jacket. He was very reluctant to post this on social, so shout out, bro. You look like $1 million. But this post right here is another great example. Let's say that you were to post something like hashtag thriller, right? Hashtag, hashtag living the MJ life, right? That'll get some laughs, and I'm sure that'll get some engagement because the photo itself is very interesting. But that's not engaging copy. Engaging copy on here could be a story about how Danny's lost over 150 pounds in his life and where he was to being able to fit into this jacket and look good doing it. It could be, something about the luxury life that he's living, and he can make up a whole story such as, this morning when I put on this jacket, the white sleeves with the black leather accents and studs made me feel like the badass in which I know I am. Riding on my pretend Harley all the way to the mall to compare it to other coats that do not compare made me feel like $1 million. You could tell in this photo that I'm worth about 2.5 million, in fact. And I'd like to know in the comments below how much you're worth and what your favorite accessory or coat would be. And I don't know, it's just making me talk a certain way because that's the entertaining side, right? So he can make up a funny comment, a funny engaging post that would then get his audience to laugh and get those emotional triggers going versus just like one sentence about something, right? He could say even something about me. You know, every time I go to the mall with @Adam Ivy, he always insists that I try on the most ridiculous jackets. In this photo, I bet him $5 that he wouldn't try it on. Being me, Adam bet me $5 that I wouldn't try it on. And let's just say, my friends, I'm $5 richer. What's been a dare that you've earned some money on or suckered out on, punked out on? I want to hear about it in the comments below. You get the difference between bland, unengaging copy versus engaging copy. That's just, and shout out to Danny. Again, go follow him. I'll have his information in the description box below. Now, I could sit here and break down advanced copywriting for you, the ins and outs, the different elements of a successful copywriting campaign, but that video would easily be an hour long. And I already know that I'm going to get comments with people saying, but you didn't tell me exactly what to say. I didn't learn anything. Unsubscribe, thumbs down, your channel sucks. And for those subscribers who leave comments like that, such kind, heartfelt comments, I graciously ask you to go fuck yourself, because the fact of the matter is nobody can tell you exactly what to say unless they're an agency doing the work for you, and that's not going to develop your voice or your skill set as a copywriter, and that's what this video is recommending you do. However, if you refer back to this outline before you post, you're going to see results, I promise you. Now, if you're serious about getting help from me directly and you're interested in that, I'll put something up on the screen right now where you can apply to get on a free strategy call with me, but only apply, please only apply if you've been doing music a while and you really want to take it to the next level. Anyway, I want you guys to practice your copywriting, get feedback from family, friends, people that you know online, and then post it to your audience. See how they respond. Then from there, you can make tweaks and dial things in and keep improving. And if you want me to do a video on more advanced copywriting skills, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you've enjoyed this video. Now, before you run off, I want you to watch this video because this strategy mixed with better copywriting is going to be like rocket fuel to your audience growth and momentum. And if you haven't yet, make sure you click that little subscribe button, then smash the bell icon to be notified first anytime I upload a video just like this. Now, in the meantime, come connect with me over on Instagram. And until next time, I appreciate you watching.